Okay, good morning, member of Group 3. Uh, there will be a practical demonstration for our group project so that everybody can get a taste of how the project was developed, and then you can able to rewatch it while home and then try to understand the techniques or activities I was carried on in developing the entire project. Um, so, without wasting our time, let's move forward. Uh, I'm recording from my room, right? It's like 5:19 in the morning, so let's try to do this. Yeah. So one thing we want to know, we are writing a shell script. There are different kinds of shell script according to our lessons, right? We have the C shell, we have the Z shell, we have bash shell. For the best of my knowledge, bash shell is the most popular shell. And the bash shell means born again shell. B stands for born, A stands for again, and the SH stands for shell. That I know from the best of my knowledge. Okay, so let's see what is bash shell. Uh, One thing I want everybody to know here is that the assignment that was given to us, we were told to run it or to develop the script on a Linux operating system. But then I did ask Mr. Lima if we can try to install an environment in the Windows operating system or on the Windows operating system to execute the task if it is allowed, and he agreed. The reason why I make that specific suggestion is that for me, I have storage issue on my computer, right? And then I won't be able to do a dual boot or running a virtual machine. I tried it recently. There's a VMware. I tried recently, and then my whole machine crashed, so I have to delete it again. So let's see what is the bash shell terminal on the window. We just want to know if we can be able to do this, right? So this is a git bash, right? It's used for control, for version control, and you can also run bash script in here. Let's see something, right? We're giving a lot of bash command in the classroom. Let's see if it works along with the git bash terminal. Let's see. Currently, I'm in my user directory. One type ls is to list, right, according to bash, while cmd is dir. So let me launch cmd2 as well so that we can have uh, real challenge experience with what we are doing here. So if I put ls in cmd, it's throwing an error. It says ls is not recognized as an internal or external command. So that just tell you that this is two different operating systems, or this is two different environments, because ls works in the Linux operating system while dir works in the Windows operating system. Okay, let's see another one again. To create a file to our desktop. One thing we need to know whenever we are doing anything, we need to know what directory we are into, right? And we are taught this. As you can see, to even clear my screen, I didn't use CLS, which is using the command line, the command prompt, right? I use clear, which is used in the Linux environment. Uh, to create a file to our desktop, we first want to navigate to our desktop. Those are things that were taught in the classroom using the cd command to change directory, right? So for now, I want to move straight to my desktop. I can say cd desktop and press tab to autocomplete. Then hit enter. Alright. Using the pwd to know if I'm in which directory. You can see here my terminal is pointing out the desktop here as my directory, right? This is /desktop. But we can use the pwd to print out our working directory, which is I'm in my C drive user folder, Abu-Bakar a Canon account, and on the desktop. So if I'm doing anything right now, it affects the desktop. So I say touch, and say app.sh. You see a new sh file being created right here. If I hit enter, so I hit enter. You see, a shell script app has just been created, right? A file of a shell script. So now we can try to write our shell script in our file and then try to execute it later. So I just gave you this demonstration to tell you that this is a Linux operating system or a Linux terminal that we are using on the Windows machine to carry on our practice. I think the most important thing Mr. Lehman wants us to do is to write the commands and not the operating system mainly. If we interact with the terminal from Windows, what's up? We are good to go, right? So let's see what we can do now with the code editor and then of our terminal here. Let me clear my screen, CLEAR, press enter to clean the screen, right? I'll open our same folder that we're dealing with and create and open it as the code editor Visual Studio Code, right? So the entire files will open in our Visual Studio Code here. Let me grab this, stick it there, snap it, right? So now we want to do some useful thing, knowing how we can output to our screen, right? So let's see this. One of the first things we'll be learning is to print out a command to our console using the echo keyword, ECHO. Alright. So the echo is used to print to the screen. So if I say print Abu and save my work, this guy get printed in my console if I run this app from the console. So let's look at this. Let's try running our command from the console here. What will happen if I run it right now? If I run it using my desktop directory, it won't find the app study.sh. It won't find it because I'm not the script here is not being placed on the desktop. It's in group 3 project folder. So I first have to change my directory to group 3 project and hit enter. Now I'm on the desktop screen and in the group 3 project, right? So let's see. Well, let's run our command to see what's happening. So to run the command in git bash, you put sh space, you put the file name, which is study.sh. This is our file name, study.sh, right? Study.sh. So I hit enter. I expect to see Abu printing on the string, right? So this is our result, our little first result, Abu. So to see more, let's see if we change Abu to a group 3 project, what happens. Because I actually want to know if we are really interacting with our work that we have been doing, right, or we are doing. So I say group 3 project. And save the work. Always remember, you have to save the work before you run it. And before the run version of your work bring the new update that you made. So when I hit my up arrow key, I can go to my last step command or my previous step command and hit enter. You see, I'm printing out group 3 project, right? Alright. So if I change my directory, the cd command to change directory to group 3 OS project, I can now run the project by saying sh index.sh because that's the project name, right? So I hit enter. I'm prompted to enter my first name. Please, guys, this is our final project, and then we should not mess up. Whenever you are asked for a value, don't give any information with a space between it. For example, this is asking for your first name. Don't give your first name and your last name. Give only your first name, or don't give your first name and your middle name. That's not how the program was designed, or else the program will break. So I put Abu-Bakar. This is one word. The hyphen is part of the word, but don't make a space, right? And the last name is Kane. The age is 90. Country of origin is Montserrat. You see, the Montserrat, I didn't put county. Why they get counties of origin? Just put Montserrat. Don't say Montserrat County. Just put your county. For those that are from county like River G, those are two words, right? River and G. Grand Bassa. So River G, you can just spell it as one word for our program to not break. Grand Bassa, maybe you can just put Bassa for our program to not break. Don't use two words, because two words will break the program. So it asks add another member. We say yes. This yes should be in lower cases, not capital cases. Type it as you see it in the script here, right? So another member, yes or no. Type it as you see it in the script here. So you say yes, it says add another member. So another member, we are asking for the new member first name. So it could be Tony. I don't know Tony last name. Let's say Tony Camara is 30. Country of origin born. I don't know, remember, yes. Another person will be Eve. What is last name? EVSC, Oladina BBBB, something like that. Age of 4, county number. So, if we enter all of our members' names and then we are done, they ask us for another member. By us typing something aside from yes, it will print out the names of everybody. So we can type in no. So we are not adding another member. So just hit enter. And then it prints out our little result here from here coming downward, right? So it's a list of members and then first name, last name, ages, and then countries of origin, right? So you see how it listed in alphabetical order, starting with the highest letter to the lowest letter, right? So this is how the program is expected to run. So now let's go to our code and explain a bit of what we are expected to be seen, or what are things that should be happening when we are writing our code. Let's look at what makes those things print to the screen. Is the echo command. This we are echoing. There are various ways you can print to the screen. Like this are happening here currently. This particular spot is we are taking advantage of the print F command, which is to print formatted strings. So we want our output to be formatted in a tabular form. So the print F handle this particular one that I'm selecting, right? But all of this is the echo command that is printing this out. Aside from this. So let's see the echo command in real time. So when you say echo, remember we are using Linux operating system here. Although I'm on a Windows machine, but the shell here I'm using is Linux shell. It's called git bash, right? Git bash is now the command prompt. This is git bash. It's for Linux operation. So remember it is case sensitive. So if I put in here echo, it's not the same as echo. You see, those are two different words. You see, this is little yellow down here, and this is plainly white. Meaning this is a keyword. That's why it's either yellow or gold. And this is not a word recognized by the bash script. So echo is what we use to print to our terminal. So I'll say echo group 3. And run the command. The first command I run, this was the command, right? Our entire project, right? But now I only want to run the study command, the study project, right? Or the study app. Now I can use index.sh here. I use study.sh. Look at this keyword here, sh study.sh. sh is a keyword used to print out our shell script code, right? So when I run this command, I will see group 3. Group 3. This is how you print to your screen. So there are different things you will want to design on your screen depending on how you want to print it, like laying lines. You just want to print lines. You can do that to your string. You print it. You see the line, the long line. You can duplicate this 3 times. I'm using Control C to copy and Control V to paste. you duplicate it three or more times, you run it, you see it will print it out. So that's what the echo does. So let's say we'll come to the middle line and change it. We'll say we don't want line, we want list of group 3 members. And save our work. Remember, anytime you make a changes and you want to take effect in your code, you have to save it. So we run our command again, and you see it print the first two lines, it print the list of group 3 members, and then print the last two lines. So this is how we print our string. So if I'm using the printf command, meaning I'm printing a formatted strings, I can print a formatted strings. So let's say book, book. Right. So if I print this out, I get book under here, right? So let's comment this out. Let's get rid of this by commenting it out. Commenting is another way of writing a program. For example, you comment to give instructions on how or why you wrote the code the way you wrote it, right? So the comment area doesn't get execute. It doesn't execute. So the interpreter ignore it. It's just for documentation purpose, right? So we can use it to comment this out. So this will not run again once it's commented out. So that print again, we'll expect it to see both. So what if we are printing a list of things? Book, cat, rat. And use this. You see, they are all listed. But why if we want to give spaces between it? Spaces. We want to provide some spaces between them. We can use some string formatter here, like this. Would create our double quote, percent, minus, and then put number of characters, right? So let's say 10 character, and then put S for strings. And then run our code again. Let's see what happens. This we are totally experimenting. We are all students here and nobody knows plenty. Everybody is trying error, right? So let's see what will happen. Nothing's happening. Absolutely. So let's take this one in the code and see what happens. Okay, so you see the difference, right? This printed as the previous one, and this printed with spaces between. So this was the technique we use to create our space between our table items. So for example, I said this command is printing out a formatted string, the printf. This just means print out strings. This percent and s, it means print out strings, right? But then we are saying every string that we are printing is you give some level of space, like how many character space. That's what we want to provide. So I say minus 5. So it will give 5 space for each word when they are not in our code, meaning it takes each of these as separate word. But when it was in the code at the time, all of those things in here were considered as one word, right? So it gave 5 space at a time. So you see this start with book, B, O, 2, 3, the next O, 4, and then they want to make it 5, right? So this is the 5 spaces. Then they want to start with C, A, T, cat, then the balance 2 is here, right? the same as. We can increase the spacing dramatically by putting more numbers like 20. We can make it 20 and you see the spaces will increase. So this is how we format our strings. So these are the two ways you can print to your terminal. So let's look at declaring a variable. Let's look at declaring a variable and an array. Right? From there we come and explain our code and everything that make up the code. Variable is assigning a value to something or storing a value in a container. That's what variable is. So let's say group name, right? I can declare a variable called group name and call it group 3. This here is a variable definition, and this is an assignment operator, and this is a value that has been assigned to our variable. This is group 3. So there are 3 key things you need to look at there. This is a variable name. This is the assignment operator. This is not the equal to when it comes to programming. This is not equal to. If we are equating or checking for equality in programming, we use a double equal sign. But the one equal sign is called the assignment operator. So the group 3 is the value that we are assigning to this variable name. So whenever we want to print out our variable or group 3, we use our variable name. So to define the variable is just by typing the variable name, but to use it is, for example, let's say we want to print it to our screen, we use the echo, we use the $sign group 3. Group name, right? That's it. And then we can run our code and it will take place here. That's how variable is being used in the shell script. So let's look at array. How to use array, how to declare it, and how to use it. Arrays is like a variable, a container that holds multiple items. It can hold thousands, hundreds of thousands items. So the same way we declare the variable by saying group name. Let's say list of group members. In fact, it was in the array that we kept all of our members' name when we are asking for their name, right? So let's see, list of members. And we put it equal sign and open parentheses. This is currently an empty array. To use this array to print it out to the screen, we can say echo space $sign. Then we can use a curly bracket, the name of the array, which is list of members, bracket. So this is how we make use of our array. Let's look at key things here. In both array and variable declaration, you don't put space between the equal sign or the assignment operator. I should not be calling it equal sign. The assignment operator and then of the array, the variable name or the array name. You don't put space, and you don't put space after the assignment operator with the curly bracket or the assigned value. You don't do that. So this is how you declare on empty array. So let's see how we can list things in our array. Let's list things that are similar, right? Like uh, cat, rat, fat, mat. To print out those things to the screen, we have to show their index. So array is index based, is accessed by index. Let's look at this array holds full list of items cat, rat, fat, and mat. So to print out cat, we have to use 0. Array counts starting with 0. So this is considered as 0, 1, 2, 3. So the array length is 4 items and we start counting from 0. So to print out cat, we put in 0 and run our code and see what happens. Cats get printed, right? So to print out rat, we have to put in 1. That's it, 1. So when we run our code, you see rat get printed. Why if we want to print out all of it, we use the add sign. And this you see in our code, we demonstrate how we store things in our code, right? So this is how an array is used. Okay, let's look at our next thing on the list here, the conditional statement, the while loop, and then of the if statement, right? This is the last practice we're going to do. Then from there we get on the project explanation, right? The if statement is to test if this is this, do this. If it is this, do this. So for example, let's say we can test if Francidia is a girl and she is above 20, meaning she is allowed to go to club, right? Or is if Francidia is a girl and below 10, is not allowed to go to club. It's not allowed because the Liberian law says it should be above 18, right? So those are conditions we can write, right? So let's see. I can say if pressing, using the bracket to give our condition, pressing is equal to a girl. Remember, before you get a condition statement, you should first know the value you are comparing to the other one. So for example, if we did not define the value here or assign the value to a variable here explicitly, then we will have to collect the value from the user by saying pressing equal girl. We said it when we're defining variable. This is a variable too, right? Pressing is the variable name. This is an assignment operator, and this is the value girl, right? We said this from the beginning. So let me tell you that you can define the value using quotes or without quotes. But the variable, you don't put it in quote. You don't put a variable in quote. No, this is not allowed. To put the variable in quote is not allowed. The variable remain like that, but the value you can put it in quote, right? So maybe someone will say, why you use quote on the other side and here you are not using quote, right? That is just a clarity. Let's look at, now we're saying if person is girl, the program should do this. Then do this. We'll end our HTML FI, right? What one might do? She is a girl. She is a girl. Hmm? So, or run this code, it won't run properly because we made a statement when we're using a variable that when you use the variable when you are using it now, you use a dollar sign behind it, right? They will still give a problem in the if condition. The if statement, the syntax we have to give space between those guys. That space is required. Is required. If we don't give it, it will break. So let's run our code and see again. You see, our code break. What breaking our code now? They say she. She is she. Command not found, right? So remember was to use the echo statement behind this guy so that we can print to the screen. Alright? So now we are expected to see something printing out. But she is now a command in the bar strip, right? So now you can see she is a girl. So what if I change this to boy? If this condition is not met, this will not print. This person has to be a girl before this print. So we can see, let's run the code. See, nothing print out because this condition is not met. But we can give a fallback because no, if you are not a girl, you should be a boy, right? We can say else echo is not a girl. Person is not a girl. The reason why we won't put boy there, or if we put boy, it is possible it's not a boy, it's a man or a woman, right? So that's why we can put a boy there, meaning our program won't meet all of the conditions. So if it is not a girl, we just want to display person is not a girl. So when I run our code, you see person is not a girl. But when I put girl here, GIRL, because person now, the value of person is girl. When I run the code, you see this will be printing out because this condition is true, right? So run the code, you see she is a girl, or could say person is a girl, right? So that's how we use the if statement, right? So let's comment this out and go to the while loop. No, this video will making it too long. We haven't even started explaining the code. Let's go to the while loop. These are just information I'm providing so that everybody can know the concept we use in the entire code, right? So let's see the while loop. The while loop says why. So we want to know whenever it is true, we should do a thing. Why this is true, do, and then to end the while loop, we say done. So we want to know why. The while loop is something that can go infinite or something that can go for a number of time if the condition is met, right? So let's just say we can print out a bunch of characters using a while loop. Or let's just say I want to repeat something. That's what we use the while for, right? So we can say while name is equal Abu, name equal Abu, why am I do this thing? Print is Abu. Uh, Although we have one line of code here, but when we run this, it will run 1,000 billion if we not quit from the program because this currently is an infinite loop. There's no way to get out of this loop. Hmm? So when I run the code, you see Abu just printing continuously. Abu, 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 Abu. Your name is Abu. Your name is Abu. It's continuous. It will continue running. I can't reach the end. It will continue running. The reason why you're not seeing any difference is because we are not changing the value there. But to get out of the while loop, we can hold Control C and exit from that infinite loop. When you see when I'm scrolling up, I will scroll. Before I reach the code, I will be ready. And now you reach this here. So you see it. So how we can get out of our while loop? How we can get out of our while loop? Let's just say we want the user to enter another thing, then we can get out from our while loop. Let's read data from the user now to get out from the while loop. We make use of variable. Now we're coming to use data. We're coming to read data from the user, right? Using a read command. Read -p, and then we say, what's your name? This, we can change the value now from Abu to another name, maybe Eve, Tony. So once we get another name, it will quit. It will stop asking the question, right? It will stop. It will stop printing out Abu. So this code is to run once the name remain Abu. It will print out your name is Abu, and then it will print out what is your name. So let's run this. You see, your name is Abu. What is your name? Your name is Abu. What is your name? So if I put Abu here again, it will print out the same thing. Your name is Abu. What is your name? Abu. Your name is Abu. What is your name? This will happen once the name remain Abu. But let's say now I want to change the name from Abu to Tony. So when you are collecting data from the user, when you use the read keyword in this, meaning you want to read a data, right? This is the question you're posting to the user. And then when you read the data, you want to put it in a variable because you want to use that data the next time again, right? So now we are saying, read the data name. When you read it, you save it in name, right? In name variable. So when we go again, we see stay. Your name is Abu. Yeah. I say your name is Abu. Okay, your name is Abu. What is your name? Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, what is your name? So I can say Abu again. It print out the same thing because we are in a while loop. Why name is Abu? This should happen continuously forever. That's why we are saying continuously forever, right? So, but when we put Tony now, it will not be equal to Abu again. So we'll be exiting from the program, right? You see this line at the end of if I hit enter. So because name is not Abu, so we can exit from our program now, right? So that's how the while loop operates. So it asks the question as much as possible, right? So you see in our program, we give a while loop here, and then we say add another group member if it is yes. If it is yes, these questions keep coming. These questions, right? So we'll come back there. That's not bad. We'll come back there. Okay. One thing I want everybody to know is that we are not using the Linux operating system. So this command is not required for us. The This is called the she bound. She, this is the she. This is called she, and this is called bound. The exclamatory mark is called bound, and the pound sound here is called she. So it's called she bound. Then this is the bin bash directory, because if we are writing a bash script, so we have to go to the bin and then the bash directory. The bin is what? You need to know that the bin. Hmm? So much on this. And one of the things you need to know when you are working on a Linux, we need to know the chain move, the ch mode, to give permission to executing our project, right? Which is now also required, or is not part of the Windows operating system. Uh, so let's go straight to our project and look at every code and discuss it, right? Uh, this is our project. We are using the echo statement to print out this line. We use the echo statement again to print out this line. If you see the semicolon here, this is just another way of programming that people say that, okay, this code in here, but it's not required in bash script. I tested it. So you see some line don't have the semicolon, right? You see that, right? So this is just another way. So we are printing out the entire thing. Now I will run our code. That three line gets printed out first before it asks you for your name. So let's say sh index.sh. Now we are printing our project, right? We want to use our project. So you see, let me get out sh index.sh. So you see it print out these three lines first before it asks for the user input. Before it asks for the user input. The last time we practiced how to add numbers, so we are collecting data from the user and adding it, right? So this is nothing again we want to waste time on that much. Let's just go to the project and discuss the project. I'm tired, bro. This is the variable we declared, and you see all of the places we use it. Add another group member, we use it here. We redeclare it here, and we use it here again. So this we declared that what we use here. The redeclaration is what has been used here. So this is the first variable, and we assign the value to yes. We assign it to yes is because we are specifically asking a question after every iteration. Add another member if it is yes or no. So the way we did our first program by changing if name is Abu, our name is Abu, if name is Abu, our name is Abu. So that's what we are doing here. Add another member if it is yes. Once that remains yes, this question will repeat itself. This question will repeat itself. So let's try collecting data from a user again, right? We did it the last time. Let's do it again using a read. The hyphen p, and then let's say we want to add two numbers. Let's say first number. Good evening. This video is a continuation of the one I did this morning. So I'll be ending the video here today and then share it with everyone. We were discussing the while loop here, and we did discuss the while loop, how it works, right? So now I want to discuss the read command. So we want to read a command and display it to the console. When we ask the user for an information the user gave it, we display it, right? That's what we want to do now. So to do that, let's share our screen. Open a terminal. Okay. And now change directory to the study, right? The group 3 project, right? ls. Let's see what are in there. So we'll get our index.sh and study.sh, those two files, right? These are the two items we'll get, and yeah, there, right? So let's see how we can read command from the user, input from the user, and display it to the screen. We tried doing it when we're using this while loop, but let's just see how it works, right? So say read -p, and then we ask the user the question we want to ask them or what we want to tell them before entering any value. You say enter your name, enter full name, and then when you enter their name, we want to echo the name. So say full name, echo full name. But here we are saying read any value someone enter, but we are not passing the value into a variable. So I have to give the variable here in front of the question. I have to put the variable here, full name without the $, because here we are defining our variable. You get it? We are defining our variable here, and here we are using it. So when we run our app study.sh, you say enter full name, and the cursor starts blinking, right? The cursor is blinking, enter full name. So I can say Abu-Bakar Abdullah Kane. When I hit it, it prints my full name. So to make it interesting, we can say, we can post it in front of you and say, your full name is. So when it collect my full name, then it put it in statement saying your full name is. See that? So let's try again. Enter full name. Say Abu-Bakar Kane. So you say your full name is Abu-Bakar Kane. So let's see if let's show some demarcation between our question and then of our response, right? So we can say echo, we'll give this line, and then we duplicate this line and bring it down, right? So we are echoing this line to show the demarcation from our question and then of our response. So let's run it again. Enter full name Abu-Bakar Kane. So you see, it prints the line, then it prints your full name is Abu-Bakar Kane. So let's see if we can ask for another information again, collect A, because those are things we are told to do, right? We're asking for the age now. So say enter your age, and we put age here. Now I want to echo out. Your full name is Abu-Bakar Abdullah, and you are this age. Okay, put it in one line saying your full name is Abu-Bakar Abdullah, comma, and you are age, the age variable, yes, old. So we are using our variable in sentences here. So we say your full name is the full name the person enter, and you are the age the person enter. So now let's run our code and see what happens. Say enter full name Abu-Bakar. Enter your age. So my age I can say 29. This was a little mistake for me. I didn't put a column and then a space like I did here. I put a column and gave space so that my name can be far away from the typing space, right? So it stay fine. It will still do what we wanted to do, but it's just like for better visualization, this is not the right way. So I hit enter. It say your full name is Abu-Bakar Kane and you are 29 years old. You see this? Your full name is Abu-Bakar Abdullah Kane and you are 29 years old. Sorry guys, I got a message that I need a response to. Let me see it. Okay, I'll call the person later. So this is how we can ask as much questions as possible. So for the county of origin, right, we can ask the same question too. So this is how we collected the user information from them. So we can say P. Now we say enter county of origin. I'll put county. So we want to say your full name is Abu-Bakar Kane and you are 29 years old from Monserrado County. Years old from county from Monserrado County. So this county will be printing Monserrado, while this is just the literal string county, right? It will just be printing the string county. So let's test this. Let's see. Let's run our code. Full name Abu-Bakar Kane. Age 80. I'm pretty old too, right? I'm not a young guy. I'm old. I'm really old. Don't mind me, I'm old. County, enter county of origin, Monserrado. And hit enter. So it says your full name is Abu-Bakar Kane and you are I suppose to say you are 80 years old from Monserrado County. So that's my mistake. This will be you are 80 years old from Monserrado County, right? So this how we collect user from the data, and let's see how we can put all of this data into an array, because is the array we are using to save the user information in, right? So we first have to declare the array above our code, the empty array, to say person information equals empty array, right? So now we are saying when you get the first name, you get the full name, the age, and the county, you should push it into this array. That's how we come and say person information plus equal this, right? So we are saying the plus and the equal is simply saying you should append every information I'll put in this parentheses in here, because this is the same name, right? So this come in here. That's what it's doing. Someone is knocking my door. I don't know who's that person, so let it be outside there, right? Sorry for the embarrassment. So we are appending every information I'll collect to our list of variables. So if we get the full name, we're using the full name, we'll say full name space age space county. And to display our list of things that we are putting in the array, we'll say how to display the array again, the element in the array. We'll say echo $, curly braces, the array name, person information, or bracket, and then using the @ to display all of the information in the array, right? So let's see this. Let's run our code. Let's see what happens. And guys, let me remind you again, we are all students, we are learning. I might make mistakes. Don't hold it against me, right? Okay. Enter full name. Say Abu-Bakar Kane, age 90. Yeah. Enter country of origin, Montserrat. So notice that we are only echoing from here. So this array is what we are printing. We are not printing anything else apart from this array. But we are putting all of those information in the array here and print the array, right? So when we add all in the array and append it to this person information, it comes here. So we are currently printing this empty array which have collected all of those data, right? So I hit Montserrat and hit enter. You see, I get Abu-Bakar Kane, I get 90, and I get Montserrat. So that's the array printing there, right? This is the array printing here. This is the array printing here. So this is what we got, and then we put it in our strings, right? We design it as table like this. So when we got all of this information, it was the time. Let me reduce the text a bit. Oh, it's too small for people to see. When we got all of the information, we created a little nice table header here. This one, and then display all of the information on them, right? Now what we did. So for example, if I can copy this and bring it here, and let's just say I want to paste it here, right here. So this, instead of first name and last name, want to just say full name. And then say the space. We're printing a formatted string now, right? We'll say print F because we want our list of items should be, the name should be under this, and the age should be under this, and the context should be under this, right? So we'll say print formatted strings. Remember is the percentage sign and the S for string printing, right? But now we are using, they won't put a minus, and the number is the number of characters we want that space to take, or the number of space or columns it should be provided for the first name. So let's say the first name we expect to start from here, column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So let's say 20 columns is okay for the full name. So put minus 20 here. So the next item will be starting right under the age, because we have given 20 space here. I don't care, even that one character will put, it will create the balance 20 space. Even that one character will create a balance 20 space before printing anything else. So let's try printing information to our string. Since there is just one value put here, it will apply for all of the items, right? Let's try that. Full name Abu-Bakar, age 90, country of origin Montserrat. And hit enter. So this is happening because of the columns. This thing is small here, so we can reduce. Let me reduce the line a bit so people can see something that I want everybody to see. Okay, clear. Okay, let me just run it from here. Full name. I'll write the name without space. Abubakar. Let me put underscore canon. Because the code, we are not defining something to give that specification, right? So in our original code, we use first name and last name, we'll separate it. I think everybody can remember when I posted a question to Mr. Lima in the class and say when we're using the first name and last, when we're collecting the full name, we'll give one high time, we should collect it as first name and last name, right? So I say age at 90, that's my age, that's my original age. And then I say country of origin Montserrat, and hit enter. So you see here now, okay, there is the full name, there is the age, and there is Montserrat, right? So this gives 20 space margin, this to get 20 space margin, this get 20 space margin. But to reduce this to, let's say, the Montserrat will start right here too. One name must start right along with the country of origin. So I have to look at how many spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's see, we'll put another string here. So this will be for column 1. It should be 20. Then the next one will stand for column 2, right? Column 2 percentage S. Then you see minus 7. Let's run our code again. Abu-Bakar. Age 90. Montserrat. So you see, we printed this, but now the age went behind a bit. So if we give this 19 it will solve this problem and this problem, I guess. So let's say this is 19. I'll run our code again. Abu-Bakar 90 Monserrado. So you see, this is how we printed our string. Although I didn't define the number of columns for Monserrado, but we can still define it to say number of columns should be percentage S, then the number of columns in it, right? Let's say 25. I run the code and see it do the same thing for us. Abu-Bakar 90 Monserrado. Age, we need to reduce age to 6. That's just formatting issue. You'll get used to it when you're doing the work. Now redo it. So you see it? So how can we make a collect two person name and display it, right? So you should collect two person name and display it. We could copy this twice because we ask the same question and re-ask the question again. We should copy this in. We could copy this entire thing twice, and then we could copy it and paste it, right? For you to repeat the tags here 2 times. But this is a bad programming behavior. If you want this to happen, it's better you use a while loop. Because imagine if you're supposed to copy this 12,000 times. Because for this, when we do like this, meaning our program only asks for 2 person. When this one runs, the first person information, then one runs, the second person information, then it prints it out. Let's test it so everybody can see that. Okay, let's see. So I saw the first person name, I say Gato. I say age of Gato is 40. County Bong. And then it asks for the next person information. You seen it? Ask for the next person information. It collect Gato information, asking for the next person information, right? So it collect Gato information here, right? So now this second part of the code is taking place right now. So the second person information will say if, then we'll say age 8. If stay on our age, guys. Country of origin Nima. And hit enter. So this as soon as I hit enter, it will print our result. It print our result, but something went wrong. So it printed our result and continue printing on the same line. We don't want it like that. We want when it print the first person information, it drop the one down. So we discussed that yesterday in our meeting. To come to new line, guys, someone guess is \n, right? We discussed that yesterday. You put it right after the last column, right? \n. So let's run our code again. We'll say if 20, if is now metro, Nimba, Kato, 50, boom. Hmm? Hit enter. See, that's how we work with the entire project. So the only thing again I'll be showing you is how we sorted the items in the the code, right? That I will explain because it's just about sorting is now anything that we supposed to be actually printing, I will just sorting it or rearrange it. Yeah? Okay, but let me show you this how to make it ask more than one question and just using one set of code instead of duplicating this code. Eh? So let's take this from there and then use the while loop. That's what we did in our original code. So we say why this thing, we have to declare a variable first. It should be true. Add another member. Add another member. Equals yes. So we come here to use this variable add another member. We say why add another member is equals to yes. This thing should happen. Do this particular thing. Then when you do this, you done right here. When you do this, you done right here. Okay. So we said the while loop, it begins from here and ends here to the done, right? So why this condition is true, do this thing in here. Okay, what we did here is called code indentation. So this is just for readability. There are some programming languages this will require indentation. Programming languages like Python. If you do it like this, it will throw in an error. You have to send it back in. I don't know if for this it will do the same thing. Let's test it out. Let's save it and try running our code. Study.sh full name age you see, so it worked fine, right? So indentation is not a big deal here. But then let's exit from the code here. Let's press Ctrl C to come out of it. Let's see how, because this currently is an infinite loop, because this is always yes. This is always yes. How can we make this variable value change from yes to no? So I have to bring in another read command to read a value that replaces this yes. So we say read -p and says add another member question. Then we show the way someone can answer to that is yes or no. There's a various way you can answer to it, either yes or no. Don't pull our column space, right? So because is this variable value want to override from yes or no, we'll copy this particular variable and then come and paste it right in front of this. So when remember, we are not using that variable here, we are redeclaring it or defining it. So we don't use the $sign. We are redefining it. You see, when we're using it here, this was not definition. We have to use a $sign if I want to compare it with if it is yes. So when we do this, we can now have a way to exit from this loop. So let's see. You see, instead of writing 1001, just the one while loop is capable of taking thousand, even billions of people. It can even run for the entire year once days remain years. But when we replace the value of years here we know, then we can come out and we print out all of those people information we enter for the past years. That's what make while loop very powerful, right? So it continues to run once the condition remains true and then exit from it when the condition is otherwise. So let's try running it. We'll say study.sh. We'll say full name. Let's just say Gator 89 bomb. And it asks us now. You see, this question is what capable of changing this variable to yes, from yes to no. So if we put yes here, this remains yes. If we put yes here, this remains yes, and we'll go through the entire process again. But when we put no here, this gets to no. This turn to no, and then this value now will be no. So when comparing no is no equals yes, because this we literally define it, right? So if this is dynamic, which can take another input from anywhere and replace this. So this now can become no. So when we say no equal yes, it becomes false. No is not equal yes. So we skip this entire thing and come and print our table header and print our formatted strings right beneath our table header, right? So let's say we taking 3 user information, so they will say yes because we get another input again I want to enter. So now it asks for another person name, we'll say Tony. It asks for A, we'll say 60. It asks for a county, we'll say Maryland. Then it asks us again, see? So this is the power of while loop. This will continue happening. This entire step will continue happening once the condition is yes. So now we can say yes again. We want to take another person. We'll say if 670 number. So now we wanted to take only 3% information and display it. So now we can say add another member is no. We don't have another person again to add, right? So we say no. Once we use no right here, this variable, this read command, it will read our value no and place it in this variable add another member. So when it places it there, it comes here and this becomes from yes to no. So now this will be no equals yes is false. Then it skips the entire route, right? So I hit enter. You see, it printed our work just fine. But let's reduce the space is small. Let's reduce it like this. Let's reduce it a bit. Let's run our code again. The terminal is not picking up. Okay, the terminal malfunctioning. So I read our code again. sh Remember, you write sh first, then you write your code, the execution code, right? sh dot study dot sh, press enter. Full name if age 79 Nima. Yes. 20. Maryland. Yes. So once every many years we repeat, right? So Gata, boom. Now we say no and see what happens. So you see, it print everything out as intended. Hmm? Gata age is 822 because we put 822 here, right? So you see, it collect if information as if information here. Then it collect tuning information as tuning information here, and Gata information as Gata information here. Hmm? So let's see the sorting part of it, right? So instead of tuning coming in the middle, tuning will be at the top because we are sorting in descending order, right? Let's see how the sorting will take place. We can just show that from here in our main code. So guys, let me just go over the entire code here, right? Or let me just do the sorting by itself. This is a keyword. If, IFS, if. It's part of the bash scripting. So we want to search for every space, every new line, right? So we are checking for every new line and declaring a new variable called sorted here as an array. And then we use the sort keyword and sort our array that we collect the list of group members. This array that we declare way up here that we push those information into is the same array we are sorting here. So yeah, the having arrow is just saying it should sort in a reverse form. The having arrow is saying it should sort in a reverse form. This I haven't researched it, so anybody can research it. 3 arrows are pointing to the left and see what it actually means. But it came with the syntax of sorting. So if you want to get this variable as this array, we pass it into this variable. There is a new variable that we're declaring. And then this variable get passed into another array called sorted group member list. After we have sorted our member list, we pass it here and we give it to this variable sorted and result of sorted list. So we put it in an array again because this printf function wants us to work properly with our array. Want us to work perfectly with our array. I hope people are getting me. So let's try to sort our information that we just did over there, right? Let's try to sort it out. So copy our code and come here and see every information we collect. We want to sort it out before displaying it. We want it to get sorted out before we display it. Mm? So now, instead of printing this information, we'll be bringing it here. Mm? So we bring it here and sort it out first. When we sort it out, then this new array now will be sorted array. This will be the one we'll be printing out, right? Instead of pressing information, we'll be printing our sorted array. So remember, there's a keyword if we meet any new line, meaning after our first name is a new line, after our second name is a new line, right? If any new line, then your sorting can take place. So it's comparing every word in for the sorting. It's not comparing user information to sorting. Every word. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. So we see. So let me put Abu name first. Abu-Bakar. It's throwing an error. Oh, I didn't run our script. Okay. Abu-Bakar is 70, origin months rather. Yes. So we see Tony. I want to make the character so we see the sorting taking place. Tony. Teddy, Maryland. Yes. Full name again. Let's say we say instead of after Tony we put Gator, right? G-R-T-R. So you see we're mixing the character, the first name character, alright. But it will come out, it will print out fine, sorted fine. Let's see what happened. Age. Boom. Now come to yes again. Go and see sorting happening. If 89 number. Then you will say no. So you see it? A sorting take place, but it's not the result we wanted. So this is sorted everything individually. So Tony is the last character in the alphabet that we use that begin with a name. 30 is the smallest number. So you see it start with 30, 59, 70, 89, then Abu, the first letter, then B, then Eve. And you see it? So if we want each person information as one information, we have to make that explicit. So you will not compare one information to the other, right? So we have to come way out there, here, and say instead of not putting this in code, I told you about code, right? When you are using spatial words, if you want it to be a one word, you put it in quote. So when we put this in quote, this become a giant string. So this is a one information that will be passed. So let's look at it again. Let's look at this. And for example, let's just say we don't want 3 columns because I want a 1 column here now. Because these are the 3 columns that were defining the first name, the age, and then we count it out the 3 columns. But now we make it a 1 column already. So let's say we'll take the one from there from now. We'll just experiment it, and we'll take it there from now and run our code again. Let me make this big and run our code again. So we'll say Abu-Bakar yes, Gato or Tuni Yes. Gator. Yes. Kenneth. Hmm? Then we say no here, right? So let's see what happened. So you see here now, Abu come last. Hmm? Abu come last here. You see Abu is last. Then the next letter after Abu letter is Gator. Gator is second. And then you see? So this in descending order. So we need to give our spaces now for this age to come on age and the county to come on the county. So this is just a one column stuff. We already sorted it out, right? So let's go back and give our three columns. Hmm? And now, since this will make it a one string here, we need to take it back from in the one string and make it back our three column before printing out, right? That is the time the env come in. Env, the equate, e, evaluate, eval. That's the time it comes in. So this, it will break every word by itself. Hmm? It breaks every word by itself. So we want to define a new array, eval, a new array. So the new array will be, we'll say the result of our sorted array. The result of sorted array. Hmm? So say equals this. So the result of sorted array, we want to pass this sorted array here. Hmm? So we do this. This is how we call we use our array, right? Sorted array, and then remember we have to access all of its elements. Hmm? We have to come with all of its elements. Now let's use it like this for now. Let's see what happens. Because I'm looking at this code here, we can somehow omit it. Hmm? So let's see what happens here. We are all testing. Hmm? So I will put this in quote and here in quote, right? So this how this particular syntax is like. Hmm? So now we're saying this evaluate function is a keyword in bash. It should set a new array and collect all of the items in this array that have been sorted and store it into our new array. Now we have to print this new array instead of the sorted array, because the sorted array, it will come with one column word, right? But in this evaluate, now we are breaking it from 1 to 3 again. Hmm? We're taking it from in the code here and removing the code from around it. Eh? So I have to print this out instead of this. So let's try printing out. Let's see what happens. We'll say Abu again. We just want to see sorting happening. We'll say Monserrato. Yes. Got 20. Maryland. Yes. Eve. Name. Age is 93. Nima. Yes. Gato. Age is 80. Born. Yes. Kenneth. Age is 22. County will be born. This now we go out of our while loop. Remember this question repeating because of the while loop, right? It's repeating because of the while loop. So now we go outside of the while loop, making that yes to become no. Then the statement become false and print it out. You see? So I told you we're testing, and now we just noticed that in our own code we don't need this variable. This variable is not needed. So we can just take this out and pass the sorted array here. And access all of its elements. So we just reduce another line now, not useful in our code. So this how programming is like. So let's try running our own code. Instead of study, let's run index and see what happens. Abu, last name is Kane, age is 80, Monserrado. Yes. So our own code, you see, we put a little demarcation to say add another member again, right? So it was not part of our study process. But I think we are able to cover everything in the code. So I guess everybody will be able to explain on this code once the video reach you. You study for at least 2 days. I will make sure the video reach everybody today. And so next person is Kenneth. Kenneth is actually his last name. So if I let's just say his last name, I'll gain another Kanena. So since Kenneth I made last name Kane. Age 33, born. Then yes, and then we'll put Gato. Gato last name is P, right? Paye. 89, born. Then you'll say no. You see, our code still work the way we wanted. Abu, last, Gato, and Kenneth. So Abu was printed first. Abu was given first, but it came last. Gato was given last. It came second. So this is the sorting that happening. Is the magic behind the entire thing, right? So guys, thank you again for watching this video, going through it. I hope we present with our sources and then we come over all of this. I just want to give a very big thank you to Gator and then of Kenneth for helping in this entire research process. They actually help a lot with data because without those people, I don't know how far we'll have been. So, thank you again once more, Gator, and then of Kenneth. I actually received, I saw $1 again on my phone. I don't know who sent that, but whosoever that sent it, thank you again for that. So this is how the project come to an end. and this is the entire code. The code have been sent. Just know that the line that we erased here, the first code that was sent, I will resend this so that people can get the updated version, right? So you can read through it, you go through the video and see how everything is like, and play around it yourself so that we can all make a successful presentation. So once again, thank you all.